Hey besties! Welcome to another episode of the Baddie Besties Podcast. My name is Alyssa.
My name is Samira, aka Samsky, and we are so excited and we miss you.
Did you miss us? Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
Period poo. Besties, what have you been up to?
Sorry.
What have they been up to?
Besties, what have you been doing? What have you been doing with your life? I hope you're living your best life.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy and you're healthy and everyone, isn't causing you too much stress.
Yeah, because today we're going to tap into our sentimental side. And we're super excited because this episode is just going to warm your hearts.
It's close to the heart, right? We're going to be talking about our younger selves. We're going to be talking about 20s, like the 10-year, 20 to 29 gap, right?
The
your 20s.
transition into adulthood.
Definitely.
AKA the ghetto.
Definitely the ghetto. So I guess just to get us started, Samira, I want to ask you a question.
Ask me a question, Liz.
I want to know what is one thing, only one, that you would tell your younger self if you could. If you could send her a little message.
Aww.
Like maybe it could be, your younger self, whatever age that you're thinking of.
That's a great question, Liz. And, I got to think about it for a second because there's a lot of different things that I could tell my younger self. And there's a lot of experiences, life lessons that I've learned. But one that stands out to me the most, especially now that I'm like, I'm 26. It kind of feels like I'm my ending 20s here. It would be baby Sam. Baby Sam to really go after your passions. And when I say go after your passions, because right now I feel like now I'm into my age, I'm going after my passions now, but I felt like I kind of based my decisions based off of money. Going to school, studying finance, and I really wish I went right after school, like maybe I did communications or I studied media or something and like went straight into like TV broadcasting or I think that I wish I put my energy into my real passions because money will come. And although like I needed money now and that's probably why I went that route and made those decisions that I made back like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah,
but
it's been a while.
I know. But I feel like though I want baby Samsky to know that the money is going to come. If you put your heart into it, you put your desires and you put, your soul into what you love and just go after it with your all, not like half-assing it because sometimes too, like, we're working full-time corporate jobs. So it's really hard to as much as I love Baddie Besties and I love like the modeling and the entrepreneurship, it's like we're kind of dividing our energy. For sure. It's not 100% into Baddie Besties. And it's because of obviously, the cards that we are dealt with, like we don't have the luxury and the privilege to, do this 100% as much as I'd love to do this. And God willing, soon we'll get to do this.
Do something.
We'll get to do this with all of our time and our energy, but that's one thing to go full on, head in, no matter if I'm gonna fail, go ahead 100% and pursue entrepreneurship or pursue the podcast, like go 100% in it.
Yeah.
And that's what I would tell my younger self, that she can do it and it's okay if you fail because you're gonna get back up.
Yeah, bet on yourself and like follow your heart, like to whatever it's pulled for, whatever feels like light, whatever the passion is.
Yeah. And
just trust that money's going to be a byproduct regardless, as long as, you love it in the first place and you put a lot of energy in your best foot forward.
Your best foot forward. I think that's a really great way to put it.
Yeah. Okay, love that. Take notes, ladies. All right.
Yeah.
This is the advice we would give to our younger selves. So
and
if you're younger than us, your younger sister or younger cousins. So it's important.
And to believe it or not, it's kind of an unpopular opinion. The unpopular opinion would be, to do what we did is like go after something that's going to make money because these degrees don't cost $2. Like to go to Boston College 1 year, it's like 80 bands. So it's like if you're gonna go and study like
1 year
history or something, it's like, damn, like am I getting my 80K worth? Like I understand that argument, I do, but I fully full-heartedly believe that if you are passionate and you're going after and you're putting your heart into it, like you said, money is a byproduct of that. Like, it's going to come. And obviously, if my parents were well off and if I could have done that, I 100% would. And
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think, too, we're in an age of technology.
Oh.
So, there's all kinds of new jobs opening up. Like, we're making our own jobs nowadays. So, I feel like if you're younger than us and you have the opportunity to just follow what feels like an inkling to you and follow the breadcrumbs and bring that passion and really believe in yourself and believe in more, that you can have more and you can build something incredible, go for it.
Yeah. Just do it, like Nike said.
Just do it.
All right, Liz, I'm going to have to circle back that question to you because, it does pull at the heartstrings. I would really want to know what would you tell baby Liz, from your experiences, from what you learned today, what would you tell her?
Oh my gosh, what would I tell her? I would tell my younger self...
Oh, are you about to tear?
No! I'm not crying! I'm not. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'm not crying. I'm thinking, like, I feel like I've thought of this question before and I can't quite remember.
I don't know. I think, at least as your bestie, for me, I think love is a great one you could tell your...
Yeah, I've always been someone that was already super ambitious and driven, and I typically follow the visions on my heart. So I think that was already ingrained in me. I feel my advice would be, I don't remember. What was the one I said earlier? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
What was it? I forget.
The love one. The one that...
I don't know. What did I say? I can't remember. That's why I'm taking so long because I can't remember it.
It's okay. It was, if you like to not lose yourself, don't lose yourself.
I know, but I had said something that was like jingly. It had like a jingle.
Well, it's okay about the jingle. Just the jingle will come when you start talking.
I don't remember, you guys.
It's okay. It's about, and we talked about this and this was prior to our podcast.
Yeah, I was on a walk and we had talked about this.
This is a FaceTime convo,
yeah,
guys.
we're on
this
FaceTime.
Is a FaceTime. And it was literally, you had said that, like, it's really easy to lose yourself in a relationship. And when you give and you give, and you said to not bend your back. To not bend your back for people that's not going to bend. And this has to go
I said, do not bend for someone who's not, do not break for someone who's not willing to bend for you. Yes. And I find, there it is. I was like, I had something that, like, I've heard it before, something that I just went blank. I couldn't remember, baddie amnesia.
Baddie amnesia. Oh my, we are going to term that.
We've coined it. Baddie amnesia. I just forgot. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, baddies they just be forgetting.
I just forgot. But just to explain it a little bit more, I have definitely experienced in past relationships situations where I felt like I was giving my all over and over and over again, and my counterpart, my partner, was not doing the same for me. And it doesn't feel good to be on the other side. It doesn't feel, you build up some levels of like resentment, and it can mess with your levels of self-worth and self-confidence. When you're pouring into someone, you feel like you're doing the very best. You feel like you should receive a certain, kind of treatment in return, and you're not. It's very frustrating, and it can have you questioning your own worth and value when you should never question your own worth and value. It shouldn't even be put outside of you. So yeah, to my younger self, girl,
sister,
don't be doing that. Like,
you know me, I am always challenging you.
Yeah.
But we challenge each other, bestie.
I love a good challenge.
So I just wanted to kind of push this a little bit more and just kind of pick your brain here a little bit, is because I 100% believe that you should not, like, don't bend for, like, what was it?
Yeah, don't break for someone who's unwilling to bend for you.
Don't break for people that are not willing to bend for you. That's a really great term. But for me, my thing is, when you break or bend or whatever we want to call it, do you expect like people to reciprocate, because some things you do out of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, at least
question.
something my mom has taught me, she's like, if you're doing something with your heart, you shouldn't expect, like, yes, in a relationship, like, it should be reciprocal, but in my heart too, like, if you do something out of your, like, do things and you're doing it because that's what your heart desires, or your heart's calling you to do that, like, do you expect that person to reciprocate?
I believe. Samira and I are trying to move, I think, from our vocabulary, especially on the podcast. So bear with us.
Because we believe, and we stand on it. We stand on what we saying, okay?
Yeah. I believe that men and women, or whoever you're in a partnership with, we don't necessarily need the same things from each other. I don't necessarily need what I give to you for you to give me the exact same thing I gave you in return. You know, men need different things from women need different things from men. So it's not that I need the exact, you know, counter, or even that I'm like looking and counting. It's just, I believe, I'll put it this way. If you feel like you are being taken advantage of, if it comes to a point where in your body you're starting to feel some resentment, some bitterness, some unfairness, or mistreatment and disrespect, and you really feel like you're putting your best foot forward, you're being the best version of you that you can in this relationship, you're showing up to the best of your ability, and they're not showing up to the best of their ability, doesn't mean they're perfect, but within their ability to show up for you, I need that reciprocation on both ends, because I have been in multiple relationships where I gave, and I did not get back what I deserved, period.
Okay, again, I'm going to keep challenging and keep poking at the bear a little bit, because my fave, my forever president, my first lady, Mrs. Michelle Barack Obama.
I love Michelle.
Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, you should come.
Join us. Join us at the Baddie Besties. But Miss Michelle, I don't remember which interview it was, but she had said in relationships, but this particular, she's a married woman, of course, but in her relationship, there were times that they're 80-20, 60-40. So just to kind of think about that reciprocalness, or I just made that word up.
I like where you're going with this.
You know what I'm saying? Seeing like, if sometimes, you know, maybe you're 80 and your man's showing up at a 20, like, and then maybe we turn around, he's 60 and you're 40. How does that make you feel? Or kind of, how does that go in terms of that term you just coined?
Yes. I believe we are all human. We all have to have realistic expectations for anyone that we're in a friendship with, a romantic relationship with, even a professional partnership with. We're still humans. You know, you may have a meeting with somebody that's going to get canceled because they have a headache today, they got a migraine, you know, someone passed away, God forbid. You know, everyone has things to handle. No one's perfect. No one's going to show up 100% every single time. So if I believe that you have to establish some sort of rapport with whoever you're in relationship with, though. So if I know that my partner shows up, you know, 80 to 100 most of the time, and I know that he's already established this rapport, if one day or 1 week or 1 month or 1 year of our marriage you're doing 20, you know, and you're not in a good place, or something happened, I'm going to consider that. I'm not going to just drop you and get mad and, you know, you're not doing what I need you to do. You know, I'm still going to understand and have the empathy. Yeah. And I expect the same in return, because I'm not going to be 100 all the time. You know, I'm going to do my best to show up to the best of my ability, but sometimes my ability is only going to be 20.
And I think that's really important just for relationships in general, that conversation, because sometimes as women, I don't want to say overcompensate, but we always show up. Like, and when we love hard. Like, you know,
for sure.
When we start really with our man, we take care of them. We maybe fold their clothes, wash it. You know, we start to do a lot of things. So I think it's important to have this conversation with your partner, because there are days that, like, we slump. Like, we're slumping, like, we're not able. We're tired girls. Tired baddies.
Tired baddie today.
And they need to understand that. And for the most part, I feel like as long as you're in a healthy relationship, you are going to receive that. But I feel like, you know, our first lady, she said it really, really great, that, like, there are times that, like, you can't show up or he can't show up, and that person is and it's never 50-50. Let's like make that straight. It's never 50-50. Sometimes one person is just, not sometimes, majority of the time, one person is showing up more of the time. And I think it's just having that balance. So it's not always one person all the time. It's like it's weighing on them that they're always showing up, but it's like a balance that you each have in grace for each other.
Yeah, definitely grace for each other. Understanding, grace, understanding, love. You know, love is the biggest foundation of even this whole conversation. You know, if you love that other person, whether you're in love with them or you have love for them, you know, hopefully you're in love with them, but sometimes, you know, that stuff changes.
Yeah.
Either way, if you have a strong friendship and a strong just love with whoever is on the other side of this relationship with you, you're going to bring that empathy. You're going to go the extra mile for them. However, it's not really fair if they don't go the extra mile for you, at least sometimes when you really can't.
Yeah, they gonna need to break their back sometimes.
Just sometimes, if I'm gonna break my back for you, sometimes I want to feel like it's worth it. You know, I want to feel like you appreciate it and it's gonna be reciprocated at times and you value it, you see it. I find that in previous relationships, I didn't feel valued. Like I'm breaking my back, you know, to help you, to handle business, to do the most, to be more than 100, to be 150. And it's not even seen or recognized or valued, genuinely not valued. It's like, I don't believe, I would tell my younger self, you don't belong in that space.
And to some degree, you're essentially saying you do have that expectation for the man to show up for you because you are showing up for them.
You're going to show up for me or I'm not your girl.
Deuces.
You're going to show up for me. It doesn't mean all the time, but you're not my friend.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Who's calling us?
Who's calling?
Who's calling us?
No, but seriously, I 100% agree with that. And I think baby Liz would really appreciate that. And I think that we receive that even in our adulthood. I think it's not only for relationships or, you know, romantic relationships. It goes for friendships, family. You can't be breaking your back, bending and twisting when they're not giving you that same energy.
Absolutely.
So,
and you know what else this reminds me of, Samira? In our 20s, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where our responsibilities begin to increase, especially once you get out of college. My college ladies, once you get out of college and you got to pay, you know, your own health insurance at 26, you know, the economy is economying, especially in Boston, the rent.
The bills are billing.
Just Google the rent in Boston. You know, Boston, one of the most expensive cities in America. You know, I find that it does become very important to have a balance of what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no to, how you're maneuvering your 20s, because it does get challenging. And it's also important to have a partner that can hold space for you and be like a team member with you, because it's hard. It's hard for both of you. Once you're both adults, it's not just the high school vibe where all you do is you go to school, you do your homework, you have your boyfriend, you fight here and there, you flirt here and there, and it's like not a big deal. You know, real life comes into play once you're out of college, really, maybe even a little bit before, right? Once you're in college.
Adulting 101. Seriously, they do not tell you how hard it is.
They don't.
Like, they don't tell you.
Where's the handbook?
I feel like we got smacked so hard.
We sure did.
Oh my goodness. I feel like
I know.
Yo, that's crazy.
We're definitely not the only ones. You know, we talk to our other friends sometimes, and they're going through it too, or they're even experiencing the same things, or discovering certain things that they didn't even know were going to be, you know, an issue or a conversation, right? Maybe you didn't consider when you were in high school, you weren't considering. Hopefully, if you were in a good place, there might have been certain bills you weren't considering, or a mortgage. You know, Samira's a homeowner now. Mortgage.
I didn't realize how expensive I was. Baby.
How expensive you are.
I'll keep this.
That part.
I'll keep this, baby.
It costs a lot of money.
Monies. I don't know. It's not even to be so real. Like,
it's really not about that part.
It's all fun and games. It's all fun and games, but I think adulting has been, and just the transition into your 20s, your identity, and understanding who you are through this. Like, the world, like when you get out of college and get out of that lens, you're like, shit, this is like real life here. Like, you know, eventually you want to start a family. You have to set the groundwork and set the precedent for your future self. And it could be, I don't want to say overwhelming, but very daunting. Like,
it's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming, but it is also like,
it's daunting too.
Shit, I'm scared.
Yeah, there's no one that teaches us, right? There's no handbook for how to go into adulthood and suddenly have it all figured out. You know, it takes some time to figure it out, even to grow, you know, even in terms of like salaries, right? Samira and I were talking about salaries the other day. And you know, how much cost of living is, especially in places like Boston, and what the average salary is for Americans. It's not adding up. Y'all got to pay people more.
No, it's, I mean, and especially too, looking, like you said, the economy and just looking at inflation, like the same dollar, the same six figures my parents had or y'all had back in the day is not the same. It doesn't go the same way.
Absolutely.
The lengths are not the same because rent are triple the amount. Like, so it's really like we are in a time, especially my Gen Z, my millennials, like they're saying this is the highest rates of people living with their parents. Like, we literally cannot afford to live on our own. And it's like we are in a time where we're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was the worst possible time for us because it's like COVID, inflation rates, like it was one after the other, and we cannot catch a break.
Can we catch a break?
Give us a break,
please.
No, but seriously, the fact that like the day after I turned 26, why they kicked me off the health insurance?
Yo.
Why they kicked me off?
They did you dirty.
I tried to go to a doctor. They're like,
the day after, y'all couldn't have given her 2-week notice. Like, no 30 days, nothing.
Yo, they got us messed up.
They had you in the system. Cut her off as soon as September comes this year. It's wraps for her. Cut her off.
So that was really a life lesson.
Yeah, man. For me, even learning about the different health insurances and like dental insurance and how much you get and all that stuff, I'm like, give it to the birds. I hate that stuff, you know, and I think adulting comes with learning things that you're not interested in or learning things you don't care about or don't want to learn that you have to learn about in order to grow and become more independent.
Yeah, I believe. I believe and I feel full-heartedly that we have been doing a great job. I think that it's very easy to like, there's all this external factors and we're like, yeah, everything is happening. But if we pause here, like we are doing such a great job, Liz. And like, if you're watching this, if you need someone to tell you you're doing such a great job, like it's really a balancing act. There is no handbook. There is no adulting 101 for dummies. Like we're doing this shit. And every day you put on your big girl pants and you showing up for work. You're putting yourself out there. You're chasing your dreams. It's a balancing act you're figuring out. And baby girl, you will figure it out. Just like us, we're figuring it out.
Yes.
And I'm proud of us.
Yeah, besties. If you're in your 20s and you're not sure what the future holds, don't worry. We're going through it together. We're all doing great. And
you're not alone, bestie. Like, we don't have it all figured out. Trust and believe. And we say this a lot. Social media will have you feeling away, baby. Again, it's all a facade. You get mere moments of people's lives, but you are doing great. Keep showing up, and we're going to figure this adulthood together.
Yeah.
The Baddie Besties Podcast.
We missed you.
We so missed you. Make sure y'all tap in. These episodes are juicy. They're spicy. They're
we got some spice coming for you.
So
y'all asked for more spice. So
yeah, we may stir this pot.
It's going to get hot.
But trust.
You just hit the jackpot. Okay.
Thank you for joining Baddie Besties, y'all. We would really love if you can tap into our socials, YouTube. We're on all streaming platforms. Make sure y'all tap in. You won't regret it. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.